Before you step into this day, pause for a moment, because what if the peace, provision, and protection you've been searching for are already promised to you? Psalm 23 is not just a passage, it's a powerful declaration that you are not alone, not lacking, and not unprotected. This morning prayer invites you to walk with confidence, knowing that every step you take is guided, every need is supplied, and every fear is silenced by divine presence. As you begin this day, let these words settle deep into your spirit, reminding you that no matter what lies ahead, you are being led beside still waters, restored in strength and covered by a protection that never fails. Divine provision isn't just about having enough. It's about living with the deep, steady assurance that your needs are already seen, already known, and already being taken care of. When Psalm 23 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," it speaks to a kind of confidence that goes beyond circumstances. It's the quiet understanding that even when things feel uncertain, there is a greater hand guiding your supply. You're not left to figure everything out on your own. You're not abandoned in moments of lack. Instead, you are being led step by step into exactly what you need right when you need it. In real life, it doesn't always feel that simple. There are mornings when the bills look heavy, when opportunities seem limited, or when you're unsure how things will come together. But divine provision isn't always loud or immediate. It often shows up in ways you didn't expect. It might come through a door opening just at the right time, a person reaching out when you need support, or even a sudden clarity that helps you make the right decision. Sometimes it's not about more resources, but about wisdom, knowing how to use what you already have in a way that multiplies its impact. There's something powerful about shifting your mindset from scarcity to trust. Scarcity says, there's not enough, I'm falling behind, I might lose everything. But divine provision says, what is meant for me will reach me, and what I need will not pass me by. That shift doesn't ignore reality. It strengthens you within it. It allows you to move through your day without constant fear, without that tight grip of anxiety. Instead, you begin to operate with a calm expectation that things will work out, even if you can't yet see how. This kind of trust also changes how you approach your responsibilities. You still work hard, you still plan, you still show up, but you're no longer carrying the weight of the outcome alone. You're partnering with something greater. When you give your effort and release the pressure of control, you create space for provision to flow more freely. You begin to notice that you're not striving as much, yet things are still moving forward. That's not coincidence, it's alignment. Divine provision also reminds you that your worth is not tied to what you have or don't have. It's easy to measure your life by material things, by success, by visible achievements. But provision starts from a deeper place. It begins with knowing that you are valued, cared for, and supported. When you understand that, you stop chasing validation through possessions or status. You start living from a place of fullness instead of emptiness. And here's the truth many people overlook. Provision isn't always about abundance in the way the world defines it. Sometimes it's about having exactly enough strength to get through the day, enough peace to quiet your thoughts, enough opportunity to take the next step. In those moments, enough is more than sufficient. It's perfectly aligned with where you are in your journey. It teaches you gratitude, and gratitude opens the door for even more to come. There will be seasons where things feel tight, where the answers don't come quickly, and where you question whether provision is really there. But even in those moments, something is happening beneath the surface. Growth is taking place. Character is being built. And often what feels like delay is actually preparation for something greater than you imagined. Provision isn't just about meeting your immediate need. It's about positioning you for your future. When you start your morning anchored in this truth, everything shifts. You don't wake up in panic, wondering how you'll get through the day. You wake up with a sense of calm expectation. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You recognize that even small blessings, a meal, a conversation, a moment of clarity, are all part of the provision unfolding in your life. So, as you move through today, carry this with you. You are not lacking. You are not forgotten. There is a steady, intentional flow of provision working in your favor, even when you can't see it yet. Trust it, walk in it, and allow that quiet confidence to guide your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. Because when you truly understand divine provision, you stop living in fear of not having enough, and you start living in the peace of knowing that you already do. Clear guidance is something we all long for, especially in moments when life feels uncertain and decisions carry weight. It's that inner assurance that you're moving in the right direction, even when the full path isn't visible yet. When Psalm 23 says, "He leads me in paths of righteousness," it speaks to a guidance that is steady, intentional, and deeply personal. It's not about being forced or rushed. It's about being led gently and consistently toward what is right for your life. In everyday life, confusion can feel overwhelming. You may find yourself standing at a crossroads, unsure which step to take, questioning whether you're making the right choice. Sometimes the noise around you, opinions, expectations, pressures, makes it even harder to hear what truly matters. But clear guidance doesn't come from chaos, it comes from stillness. It comes from creating space within yourself to listen, to reflect, and to trust that there is a direction meant specifically for you. Guidance isn't always loud or obvious. It often shows up as a quiet nudge, a sense of peace about one decision and discomfort about another. It might be a thought that keeps returning to your mind, or a door that opens with unexpected ease. Sometimes it's even found in what doesn't work out. The paths that close can be just as important as the ones that open. Each of these moments is part of a larger direction unfolding, even if you can't fully connect the dots yet. Trust plays a huge role in receiving guidance. It's one thing to ask for direction, but it's another to actually follow it when it challenges your comfort zone. Clear guidance may lead you into unfamiliar territory, asking you to step away from what feels safe and into something new. That can be uncomfortable, even frightening. But growth rarely happens in places of complete certainty. When you choose to trust the guidance you feel, you're choosing to move forward with faith rather than fear. It's also important to understand that guidance doesn't mean perfection. You won't always get every decision right, and that's okay. Sometimes the path includes detours, lessons, and moments of correction, but even those are part of the journey. They shape your understanding, refine your instincts, and bring you closer to clarity. Clear guidance doesn't remove all mistakes. It helps you learn from them and continue moving forward with greater wisdom. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop trying to control every outcome and start seeking direction instead. Control is exhausting. It makes you feel like everything depends on you alone. But guidance invites you into a partnership. You still take action, you still make choices, but you're no longer carrying the full weight of uncertainty. You begin to move with a sense of alignment where your steps feel more natural and less forced. Another important aspect of clear guidance is patience. We often want answers immediately, especially when we're facing important decisions. But guidance doesn't always arrive on demand. Sometimes it requires waiting, reflecting, and allowing things to unfold at the right time. In those waiting moments, something is happening within you. Your perspective is being shaped, your priorities are becoming clearer, and your readiness for the next step is growing. Clarity also becomes stronger when you stay grounded in your values. When you know what truly matters to you, integrity, purpose, growth, it becomes easier to recognize which direction aligns with those values. Guidance isn't just about external signs. It's also about internal alignment. When something feels right, not just logically, but deeply within your spirit, that's often a sign you're on the right path. As you begin your day, carrying the assurance of clear guidance changes how you approach everything. You don't move in haste or panic. You take each step with intention, knowing that you are being led even if the full picture isn't visible yet. You become more aware, more attentive, and more open to the subtle ways direction appears in your life. So today, instead of stressing over every decision, allow yourself to trust that guidance is already present. Pay attention to the quiet signals, the inner peace, the opportunities that align naturally. You don't need to have all the answers at once. You just need to take the next step with confidence, knowing that as you move forward, the path will continue to reveal itself. Inner peace is something people search for in many places, yet it's often found within, waiting to be recognized rather than chased. When Psalm 23 speaks about being led beside still waters and having the soul restored, it paints a picture of calm in the middle of life's movement. It's not the absence of problems, but the presence of a deep, steady quietness inside you that remains even when everything around you feels uncertain. That kind of peace doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. It comes from knowing you are held, guided, and not alone in what you're facing. Most days, the mind is full. Thoughts rush in from every direction: responsibilities, worries, expectations, things left undone, things yet to come. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, like you're constantly trying to catch up with your own life. Inner peace begins when you choose not to let that noise control you. It starts with a simple decision to slow down, even for a moment, and create space within yourself. In that space, something shifts, the tension eases, your breathing steadies, and you begin to reconnect with a sense of calm that was always there beneath the surface. Peace doesn't mean you won't feel stress or face challenges. It means those things no longer have the power to shake you at your core. You may still have difficult conversations, demanding tasks, or unexpected obstacles, but there's a grounding inside you that keeps you steady. Instead of reacting from anxiety, you respond with clarity. Instead of being consumed by fear, you move forward with quiet confidence. That's the strength of inner peace. It changes how you experience everything else. One of the biggest barriers to peace is the need to control everything. We often feel that if we can just manage every detail, predict every outcome, and prepare for every possibility, then we'll finally feel calm. But the truth is that constant need for control creates more stress, not less. Inner peace grows when you learn to release what you cannot control and focus on what you can. It's about trusting that not everything needs to be figured out right now. Some things will unfold in their own time, and that's okay. There's also a powerful connection between peace and perspective. The way you interpret your circumstances can either disturb your peace or protect it. When you focus only on what's going wrong, it's easy to feel discouraged and unsettled. But when you begin to notice what's still going right, the small blessings, the quiet moments, the simple things, you create a balance. Gratitude becomes an anchor, keeping you grounded even when life feels unpredictable. It reminds you that not everything is chaotic and that there is still goodness present in your day. Inner peace also invites you to be kinder to yourself. So often, the harshest voice we hear is our own, criticizing mistakes, replaying past decisions, worrying about not being enough. That constant self-pressure disrupts your peace more than any external situation. When you begin to speak to yourself with understanding instead of judgment, something softens. You allow yourself to grow without tearing yourself down, and that creates a much more peaceful inner environment. Another important part of peace is learning to be present. Many times anxiety comes from living too far ahead in the future or being stuck in the past. Inner peace brings you back to now, to this moment, this breath, this step. When you focus on what's in front of you instead of everything that could happen or has already happened, life becomes more manageable. You realize that right now, in this exact moment, you're okay. And from that place, you can move forward with greater calm and clarity. As you carry this sense of inner peace into your day, you'll notice a difference in how you interact with the world. You won't be as easily shaken by small frustrations. You'll handle challenges with a steadier mind. You'll find yourself pausing before reacting, choosing your responses more thoughtfully. That doesn't make life perfect, but it makes it more balanced. It gives you the ability to navigate whatever comes your way without losing yourself in the process. So today, don't chase peace as if it's something far away. Recognize that it's already within you, waiting to be acknowledged. Take a moment to breathe, to quiet your thoughts, and to reconnect with that stillness inside. Let go of the need to control everything and allow yourself to trust that you can handle what comes. Because when you hold on to inner peace, you're not just surviving the day, you're moving through it with calm, strength, and a quiet sense of assurance that everything will be all right. Protection from harm is something every heart quietly longs for. It's the desire to move through life without fear, constantly shadowing your steps, to feel safe even when the world around you feels uncertain. Psalm 23 speaks directly to this when it says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." That's a powerful image, not because danger doesn't exist, but because even in its presence, there is a covering, a protection that goes beyond what we can see. It's a reminder that you are not walking through life exposed and alone, but guided and guarded in ways you may not always notice. Life has its valleys. There are seasons when things feel heavy, when challenges seem to come one after another, and when fear tries to settle into your thoughts. In those moments, it's easy to feel vulnerable, like you're standing without defense against everything that could go wrong. But protection from harm isn't always about removing every difficulty. Sometimes it's about strengthening you within those situations. It's about giving you the resilience to face what comes without being broken by it. Protection can show up in many forms. Sometimes it's obvious, a situation you avoided, a delay that kept you from something harmful, a warning you listened to just in time. Other times it's more subtle. It might be the strength to walk away from something that isn't right for you, even when it's hard. It might be the clarity to recognize what's not aligned with your well-being. It might even be the peace that guards your mind, preventing fear and negativity from taking over. Not all harm is physical. Some of it is emotional, mental, and spiritual, and protection covers all of it. There's something deeply reassuring about knowing that you don't have to carry fear with you all day. Fear has a way of exaggerating possibilities, making you imagine worst-case scenarios, and keeping you on edge. But when you trust in a greater protection, you begin to release that constant tension. You stop expecting the worst at every turn. Instead, you move forward with a quiet confidence that no matter what happens, you are not defenseless. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or taking unnecessary risks. Wisdom is part of protection. You still make thoughtful decisions, stay aware of your surroundings, and take care of yourself. But you do it from a place of calm awareness, not panic. There's a difference between being cautious and being consumed by fear. Protection allows you to be alert without being anxious, to be prepared without being overwhelmed. Another important part of protection is boundaries. Sometimes the harm we need protection from comes through people, environments, or situations that drain us or pull us away from what's right. Learning to say no, to step back, or to create distance when necessary is a form of protection too. It's recognizing that your peace, your energy, and your well-being matter. You don't have to stay in places that harm you just because they're familiar or expected. There are also moments when protection doesn't look like prevention but preservation. You might go through something difficult, something you didn't expect or want, but you come out of it stronger, wiser, and still standing. That too is protection. It means that even when life takes you through challenges, you are not destroyed by them. Something within you is sustained, held together, and carried through. When you begin your day with the awareness of protection, it changes your mindset. You don't step out into the world bracing for harm. You step out knowing you are covered. You become more present, more open, and less burdened by what-if thoughts. You trust that even if challenges arise, you will have the strength and support to face them. Protection also invites you to let go of things you were never meant to carry. You don't have to hold on to every worry, every fear, every possible outcome. You can release them knowing that you're being watched over in ways beyond your understanding. That release creates space for peace, for clarity, and for a stronger sense of stability within yourself. So as you move through today, carry this quiet assurance with you. You are not unguarded. There is a presence surrounding you, guiding you, and shielding you from what is not meant for you. Walk with confidence, not because life is free of challenges, but because you are supported through them. And in that awareness, fear begins to lose its grip, replaced by a steady, unshakable sense of safety that stays with you wherever you go. Spiritual restoration is about being renewed from the inside out. It's that quiet but powerful process where your strength is rebuilt, your heart is softened, and your spirit feels alive again. In Psalm 23, when it says, "He restores my soul," it speaks to something deeper than physical rest. It's not just about taking a break. It's about being made whole again after feeling drained, overwhelmed, or disconnected. It's the kind of restoration that reaches into the parts of you that no one else sees and gently brings them back to life. Life has a way of wearing you down. Responsibilities pile up, disappointments happen, and sometimes you give so much of yourself that you start to feel empty. You may keep going on the outside, but inside you feel tired in a way that sleep alone can't fix. That's where spiritual restoration becomes so important. It meets you in that hidden exhaustion and begins to refill what has been poured out. It reminds you that you don't have to stay in that depleted state, that renewal is possible. Restoration often begins with stillness. In a world that constantly pushes you to do more, be more, and move faster, choosing to slow down can feel uncomfortable at first, But in that stillness, something begins to shift. You start to reconnect with yourself. Your thoughts become clearer, your breathing steadies, and the weight you've been carrying starts to lift, even if just a little. It's in those quiet moments that restoration takes root, gently rebuilding your inner strength. There's also a healing aspect to restoration. Sometimes what drains you isn't just busyness, it's hurt. Words that stayed with you longer than they should have, situations that didn't turn out the way you hoped, or moments where you felt overlooked or misunderstood. Those things leave marks, even if you don't always acknowledge them. Spiritual restoration doesn't ignore those wounds. It brings healing to them. It allows you to release what you've been holding on to and make space for something lighter, something freer. One of the most powerful parts of restoration is letting go. Not everything needs to be carried forward. Some thoughts, regrets, and burdens are meant to be released. Holding on to them only keeps you stuck in a place that drains your energy. When you allow yourself to let go, even gradually, you create room for renewal. You make space for peace, for clarity, and for a fresh perspective on your life. Restoration also reconnects you with purpose. When you feel worn out, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing. Everything starts to feel routine, heavy, or even meaningless. But as your spirit is restored, that sense of purpose begins to return. You remember what matters to you. You feel a renewed sense of direction, even if it's just taking the next small step forward. That clarity brings motivation, not the forced kind, but a natural desire to move ahead with intention. Another important part of spiritual restoration is grace, especially toward yourself. It's understanding that you don't have to have everything figured out, that it's okay to feel tired sometimes, and that needing renewal doesn't make you weak. In fact, it shows awareness. When you give yourself permission to rest, to heal, and to start again, you're choosing growth over pressure. You're allowing yourself to be human while still moving forward. As restoration takes place, you begin to notice changes in how you feel and respond to life. Things that once overwhelmed you start to feel more manageable. Your patience grows. Your thoughts become less scattered. You find moments of calm where there used to be tension. It's not that everything around you has changed. It's that something within you has been strengthened. Starting your day with the mindset of spiritual restoration changes your entire outlook. Instead of waking up already feeling drained, you approach the day with a sense of renewal. You're not just running on yesterday's energy, you're being refreshed for today. That shift makes a difference in how you speak, how you act, and how you handle whatever comes your way. So today, allow yourself to receive that restoration. You don't have to force it or chase it. It's something you can step into. Take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to reconnect with that deeper part of yourself. Let go of what no longer serves you and allow new strength to take its place. Because no matter how tired you may have felt before, renewal is always possible. And when your spirit is restored, you don't just get through the day, you move through it with a quiet strength, a clearer mind, and a renewed sense of life within you.